We all want to be better at the things we do, right? But how do we go about that? Here's a few things I've learned in the last 29 years on how to be better at literally anything. You can improve in anything you want, any area, any skill, any department. Here's a few things I've learned to improve at your things. The first tip is start small and leave complex for later. It's too easy to dive into something new and try and go for either intermediate or advanced. Start with beginner. If you were new to cooking, it would be unreasonable to jump in and try and cook a 4-course meal for 6 people for your first attempt. Don't put that pressure on yourself. Don't put that stress on yourself. Just give it a shot with something you can nail. You know, we need a bit of feedback at the minute. We need some wins. We need to get into this. Being realistic, you know. And if it was that easy to jump in and cook a 4-course meal for 6 people, most people would be doing it often, just whipping it up. It's not. It takes time. It takes practice. There's a lot of learning to be done. So let's dive in with something that we can absolutely smash for the first thing, get that ticked off, and then move on with a bit of confidence. So yeah, step 1, don't go too hard, too quick. I am wanting to get fit. I'm incredibly out of shape. I am out of breath by the time I've run up a flight of stairs. It's horrendous. And to get going, I'm walking 10,000 steps a day for 31 days. That's it. And some people might be like, oh, that's not how you get fit. No, that's how you make a start. You know, that's how you make it a routine, you make it a habit. You start with something that you can't not do. If I don't go out and walk 10,000 steps, it's not because I couldn't, it's because I chose not to. So remove that. You can do your goals at the start, you've just got to do them. And that's where we're at. The second thing is put in the reps and be consistent. I'm a big believer that a little bit constantly goes a long way compared to doing a lot in a small amount of time. If you were learning to drive, I'd much more recommend doing 2 hours a week for 10 weeks than doing 20 hours in a week and then having 9 weeks off and doing another 20 hours. A little bit and often, keeping that consistency up, keeping that almost that short-term memory loop. You'll just remember what you did last week and you'll pick up from there and you'll carry on. So consistency is massive, but also don't dive in too intense. You know, that's the next step. The next step is a lot and often, but it's too easy to try and jump in at that and lose your way before you get to a point where you're happy with what you're doing. So yeah, a little bit and often, that's really powerful for getting good at something you've never done. The next thing, the third thing, is you will be terrible. You're going to suck at whatever you try that's new. It's unreasonable to expect to start something new and be good at it. So bear that in mind going in. Go in knowing that you're not going to be very good. And if you know that from the start, when you're not, you've simply met expectations, and that's fine. The other side to that is when you're new at something, the rate in which you improve it's enormous, it's fantastic. If you're doing a new skill or a new hobby, you'll be better at that literally every week, sometimes every day. You can pick up a new thing and have improved from last time. And that's massive, because when you get to an advanced or expert level at something, improvements are few and far between, and it takes a long time to see any sort of gains in your ability. So bear that in mind. Even though you're going to be terrible, you'll see a lot of improvement often, which is nice, keeps you motivated. Fourth thing, just don't give up. Just don't stop. Which ties into point number 2. If you've set your daily or weekly goal at a reasonable amount that's not outside your capacity, there's no reason you should stop. It's like doing, but then again, it's like doing these 10,000 steps every day that I'm doing. I'm doing 10,000 steps every day for the month of May. I've wanted to quit like 4 or 5 times. It's not unnormal, it's not unnatural, it's not unusual to want to quit, you know? Sometimes when stuff gets hard, it's like, why am I doing this? But I do, every day. And there's been days where it's absolutely rained all day and I got wet, completely down to my underwear. But it's fine, you know, it just doesn't matter. So just keep going, don't stop, give it your best shot. And if you can't keep up with the requirements you set, if I had set a goal of 30,000 steps every day and I got 3 days in and my legs hurt and I couldn't do it, I'm just not at that level yet. And that's okay too. Just lower your expectations and do it again. And there'll be a day where walking 10,000 steps is effortless and you laugh at how easy this is. That day's just not yet. We haven't earned that yet, but you will down the line. You'll get to a point where you'll look back on this and be like, ha, as if that's what I used to do. Yeah, that's where you'll be. But if you stop, it all goes out the window. You only fail if you quit. But also, don't set your goals at an unreasonable target, forcing you to quit. So bear that in mind. The fifth and final thing is find communities of people out there that are doing the same thing you're doing. There'll be hundreds. And bear this in mind, wherever you start on your journey to be better at anything, somebody else started out and was worse. Somebody started out and was better, but there's always somebody worse. There's somebody who will look up to you and think, wow, I wish that it was that easy for me. Meanwhile, you're stuck there thinking, wow, you're looking at the person above you thinking, wow, I wish it was that easy for me. There's people out there that'll look up to you and be like, I wish I could do it that well. So bear that in mind. Hop on Reddit, Facebook groups, YouTube, even tags on Instagram and different pages. There's always other people doing what you're doing. And you'll see loads of people that are experts or that are advanced, giving pro tips and feedback and chiming in and helping the new people. Because that's what these communities do, and it's great. Personally, I like Reddit for everything. If it's the bodybuilding subreddit, or if it's the fitness subreddit, or even if it's the YouTubers subreddit about people making YouTube videos. So useful, just have a read. Some of the stuff is completely useless, I promise. Some of it's completely drivel, but some of it's gold. It's just up to you to figure out which is good and which is nonsense. So yeah, bear that in mind. But yeah, that's 5 tips to be good at anything or to improve at anything. Because the same logic applies for whatever you're doing. So yeah, get out there, stick at it, give it your best shot, and try have fun. If you're not having fun, it makes it hard. It does, So try and find something that you enjoy doing, something you want to do. And with a few of those tips, even if it's just 1 or 2 of them, you'll make some good progress and you'll get there. Because you only fail when you quit. And we ain't having no quitting. So anyway, if you found that video helpful, leave a like. Because I don't know, if that were useful to you, like it, tell me. If there's any other points that I've missed or any that you'd amend or that you don't agree with, leave a comment. Once again, I'm always out to learn. So, and lastly, if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe. Why not? It's free. And you know what? If in 3 months' time you're like, John's not doing it for me, you can always unsubscribe. It's all right. I'm not going to lock you in. Don't worry. Anyway, I'm going to keep walking. I've got my 10,000 steps to do, 2,000 more, and have a lovely rest of your day.